What's going on, YouTube world? What's up, y'all? Got for you today the Smackdown review. Man, Roman Reigns has really become a part-timer. They started up the show with a heavy, very, like, basically just recapping everything. Like, it wasn't a small recap, it was a big recap of what happened on last Smackdown. And I'm like, well, it's really no point in recapping this if we're not going to see Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar on the show. I was under the impression that Brock Lesnar was still going to be on the show, but they have Drew McIntyre start off with a promo, basically coming out and talking about the Money in the Bank match, winning the Money in the Bank match. Sheamus would come out and do the same. They would get into an argument, and then out of nowhere, Adam Pearce with Paul Heyman, or I should say, Paul Heyman with Adam Pearce, basically came out to let both Drew McIntyre and Sheamus know that basically Roman sees both Sheamus and Drew McIntyre as legit threats to him. For one, Sheamus, the last time when Sheamus won the Money in the Bank briefcase, he cashed in on Roman Reigns, and then I guess he see Drew McIntyre as the legit threat. So he basically used his influence and had Adam Pearce rescind basically both of them being in the Money in the Bank match because they didn't really qualify. You know, they tried to put a spin on it saying that they didn't qualify because they were just put into the match without, you know, actually winning the match. So basically, they had Adam Pearce make a match for the main event where it would be Drew McIntyre and Sheamus versus the Usos. And if Drew McIntyre and Sheamus wins, they're in the Money in the Bank match. But if they lose, they out of it. It's no like if the Usos win, they in it or not. They are basically playing. I don't want to let them get into the match. We got our first match of the night, which was Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn, which was a Money in the Bank qualifying match. This was a okay match. I definitely seen better openings to SmackDown, and this was okay though. They did put on a good show, so it got a pass with me. But Sami got the victory here and is going to be in the Money in the Bank. I did not expect. I thought they was going to have Shinsuke win, but Sami winning is kind of a little twist because they throughout the whole night he was talking about how he's not going to cash in on Roman Reigns when he wins because he kept correcting himself. And then I get to that later though. The other part is for a later moment. We got the next segment, which was I guess was supposed to be. They announced it as a match, but it was supposed to be the New Day versus Jinder Mahal and Shanky again. But they came out and said they don't do rematches no more because nobody don't want to see them have a rematch with each other. Nobody want to keep seeing that over and over again, which kind of ironic because that's what WWE's been doing lately, giving us repeated matches over and over again. But I'm glad that they called it out here, so they would do so. They turned it into a dance battle, or not a dance battle, just basically Shanky dancing. And I guess the true purpose of this was supposed to be the reintroduction of the Viking Raiders, as they came out with new face paint and basically they destroyed Shanky and the New Day and basically revealed themselves to be heels. They would cut a promo later on just basically talking about how they through being looked over and passed over, and they're going to take what's theirs and they're going to destroy anyone and whoever gets in their way. So the real second match of the night was Raquel and Lacey versus Sonya Deville in a handicap match. And the reason why is because basically Sonya came into the office of Adam Pearce and started talking trash about him and saying how he's treating the women's division and that she's been back on Smackdown for weeks and haven't basically been put in a match. When the hell did Sonya Deville get moved to SmackDown? Wasn't she on Raw? And now she's moved to SmackDown? Or was she all... I don't know. That'd be confusing me. But that's why he made the handicap match, because she was talking trash. Raquel and Lacey would come out, and basically Sonya came out with Isaiah Lee and Shayna Baszler. It was an okay match. It really didn't serve no purpose, so I really wasn't into it, other than just to see Adam just screw over Sonya for talking trash to him. And yeah, Isaiah Lee and Shayna really wasn't no help, because she ended up losing the match anyway. So yeah, Raquel and Lacey won. This was really no point. Probably the next thing was probably the best thing of the whole night, and that's saying a lot considering that this wasn't really all that good. Was a Natalia promo. She came out dressed as Ronda Rousey, complete with the music, with her baby carriage for some reason. I guess to mock her being a mother, and she basically started talking trash about Ronda, saying how she almost tapped out last week, that how the sharpshooter was better than the armbar, and this trash talk would bring out Ronda Rousey, and this is where the promo actually got good, because nothing that Natalia said was good at all. Like, it was boring up until this point, and then it was like even though Ronda's like bad, she's bad on the mic. She started digging in. She said things that was personal. Like, I think it started with the rat comment. And what I mean was, she came out when she was like, Nat, that is you, Nat. Oh, I almost didn't recognize you without your rack out. And I was like, oh, okay. Taking shots. Oh, the Italian didn't look so pleased. I'm like, then I thought about it, I'm like, you know what? She's right about that though. Like, you do like all your costumes and ring gear. If anything does, like, it's just to show off your big ass rack. Like, that's really what it is. That's why she mentioned it. But then Ronda did hit home a little bit deeper. She told her, I'd rather be a mother. I'd rather do this and that and that. I'd rather not carve up and disgrace my body trying to meet impossible beauty industry standards. I was like, oh, she talked about Nat's plastic surgery and stuff. And then the camera zoomed in on her face. I was like, why would y'all do that? Oh my God. I was like, oh, okay, Ronda hit it deep. And then I think the last thing she said that was good in this promo was that, you know, that I would be upset too, that the only way to come close to being the main attraction in this company is when you dress up as me. I was like, oh man. But other than that, even the brawl was like awkward and stupid. Like, they was fighting, and then Natalia tried to hit her with the baby carriage, and then she kind of did. Then they started tugging with it, and it was like, it just looked awkward, and Nat just bailed out the ring and left. But I was like, other than that, the promo was basically good only because of Ronda's deep personal shots at Natalia. And I was suspecting, the reason why I say that, because usually when a character does that, the brawl is supposed to be bad. Like, they supposed to just start ball out, just beating the hell out of each other. And Nat didn't even do that. Like, she just stood there and took all the personal, like, shots at her. We got the next match, which is the Intercontinental Championship match with Gunther versus Ricochet, the rematch. This was a good match. It was just as good as the last one. Ricochet got some nice offense in. He kind of staggered Gunther, but Gunther ended up overpowering him and being too much, and he retained the title. Another surprise move that I didn't know now. Apparently, Tamina is on Smackdown. Who would have thought? Though this comes with a sour note because then we got another injury report. Because this was supposed to be Tamina versus, Aaliyah versus Chauncey Blackheart, but apparently Aaliyah is injured as well. Wow, another injury. Apparently she's injured now, so Tamina took her spot. This match was okay. This was finally like a match I could actually kind of sort of like watch because it was like other than that first match, everything else been just boring. But yeah, this match, except for the Ricochet match. The Ricochet match wasn't boring. It was okay, but this match was okay. Chauncey Blackheart surprisingly got the win. I didn't think she was going to get the win. She hit a DDT, which is I think it's called Never Wake Up or some stuff like that. Apparently, she got a finisher now that she just debuted it for some reason. I don't know. After that match, we got a Pat McAfee who basically challenged Baron Corbin to a match at Pat McAfee promo, I should say, who challenged Baron Corbin to a match at SummerSlam. And then we got the main event, which is Drew McIntyre and Sheamus versus the Usos. The match was okay. It was kind of the Street Profits were there. I forgot they had a promo backstage or whatnot. Oh, almost forgot too. The Sami Zayn promo that happened later on, where Paul Heyman, they was interviewing Paul Heyman backstage, and he before Kayla asked him a question, but Sami Zayn came to Paul Heyman's defense and was basically trying to defend the Paul Heyman and the Bloodline until he made the mistake of saying that he wouldn't, when he went to Money in the Bank, he wouldn't cash in on Roman, he'll cash in on Brock. And which pissed Paul Heyman off because he insinuated that Brock would win. But basically, back to the main event, it was okay. It was kind of a disservice to the Usos to have them look, because I knew Drew McIntyre and Sheamus was going to win, but the fact that this was supposed to be how would they coexist and how would against a team that's basically one of the best tag teams. And they basically did well. That actually was a disappointment that we didn't see some type of dissension or arguments between the two. They actually worked well cohesively and beat the Usos with a little bit of help from the Street Profits, who basically did nothing on commentary. But it was still fun to have them out there, but they really didn't add anything to commentary. But yeah, that was it. This was a lackluster compared to what happened last week. This was a lackluster episode of SmackDown because of the fact that after that whole big thing that happened last week with Brock Lesnar coming back and beating up on the Usos and Roman Reigns, we got nothing this week. We have no further of that story other than the fact that they match at SummerSlam will be a last man standing match and it's official. Other than Drew McIntyre talking about it, it was really nothing. I forgot that too. He did mention that in his promo at the beginning of the show. He mentioned Brock Lesnar and how Roman Reigns was ducking him. But yeah, I give this episode a 5 out of 10 just because this was pretty much boring. It wasn't good. I didn't enjoy it at all. Other than Drew McIntyre's promo, the Nat promo for somewhat. Natalia and Ronda promo and Pat McAfee's promo was good. The main event was okay. Yeah, basically the first match, Ricochet's match, and the main event was the only good matches that I could pull out of that. But you let me know in the comments down below what you thought, and if you enjoyed this review, hit the button right there in the upper right corner for all of my WWE reviews. And if you enjoy this review so much you want to support the channel, all you gotta do is hit that like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button, hit that thanks button, and hit that join button if you want to see me react to some of your shows that you like and we enjoy together. And I think I should get 2 titles. And I call myself the tribal chief of YouTube, so I think I gotta get 2 titles. But yeah, hit any one of these videos for more of my amazing content. I got another review and some reactions coming your way. Peace out. See you in the next one.